New Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal, sportsanimal99.com. We catch up with sports personalities from the area each week. We call it Where Are They Now? Presented by City Heat and Air and Natural Gas. Great to catch up with a former star at Sequoia High School in Madisonville. Went on to a fabulous record-setting career at Furman, and now in the National Football League, fullback for the Minnesota Vikings, number 42, Jerome Felton, joins us here on the New Sentinel Sports Page. Hey, Jerome, Vince Ferrara here in Knoxville, Tennessee. How you doing, Jerome?
Doing good, Vince. How are you?
Good. Do you remember that drive from Knoxville to Madisonville and back?
Yeah, I've done it many times, and over the last few years, I've still done it. So I try to get back there as much as I can.
All right. Well, let's go back to your time at Sequoia, and we'll kind of move forward. Your career as a not only a back but a middle linebacker as well, and the stats that you put up there, more than 3,000 yards rushing, 300 tackles in your 3-year career there at Sequoia. What are some of the memories you have at your time at Sequoia?
Just playing on that field. I've been back a few times and seen it, and I just remember, being on the field, looking up in the stands and knowing, your whole high school, you're representing your high school, and, playing for, everybody that went to that high school, and it was just a good time. It was fun. There was no, like I said, politics involved. It was just for the love of the game, just going out there, playing your hardest, the guys you grew up with, and having a good time. So it was definitely positive memories when I look back.
Team captain as a senior, 1,300 yards. Well, how much do you hear from some of your classmates and some of the friends that you made there at Sequoia High School?
Oh, I talk to those guys, at least several times a week. I try to stay in close contact. Chris Carson was a tailback with us. That's still my best friend, and so as much as I can talk to them, I do. I know a lot of people from Madisonville support me in the East Tennessee area, and, like I said, I hear from them all the time. It's always positive things, and, it's definitely something that keeps me motivated to keep succeeding at this level.
We're visiting with Jerome Felton, number 42 for the Minnesota Vikings, fullback, 6 feet, 246, 26-year-old in the National Football League. We'll get to that here in a second here on Where Are They Now, presented by City Heat and Air, Natural Gas. I'm Vince Ferrara. So you went from Sequoia to Furman. What were some of the offers you got from college, and why Furman?
Well, I was getting an interest from Vanderbilt, and the coaches, Bobby Johnson, who had been the head coach at Furman, actually was the coach at Vanderbilt when they were recruiting me. And they kind of talked to me about a gray shirt, meaning I would have to sit out a semester, and I really wasn't too interested in that. And they contacted not Bobby Johnson, but Bobby Lamb who was coaching Furman at the time, and they came up and took a look at me and offered me a scholarship right there. So, I was from a small high school. I didn't know much about recruiting. So I probably didn't get the exposure that you need to get the attention of some of the bigger schools. But, at the end of the day, I went to Furman, a great university, academically and athletically, and, received a first-class education and got all the opportunities I could ask for, on the football field. So it worked out in my favor. So when looking back, I wouldn't want to change a thing, and I'm just glad the opportunities, were presented to me, and I had a chance to take advantage of.
Well, Jerome, you got it done in the classroom, 3.25 GPA in political science, SoCon academic honor roll all 4 years, and graduated. Pretty proud of that Furman degree, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. That was always big in my family. My mom really stressed that and did a good job with that with all my siblings. And like I said, when you go to Furman, there's no easy rides, there's no shortcuts. So, they really preach that and make you work hard. And I think it translated to the football field and, allowed me to get at this level and be able to continue my career. So, I always tell when I go talk to kids and, go to around different schools, I always preach the importance of academics and making sure you get what you have to get done in school and then focus on football next. Well, your sport.
Excuse me, Jerome. Well, the football got done as well. We're visiting with Jerome Felton of the Minnesota Vikings. Jerome played football at Sequoia High School down the road in Madisonville and then on to Furman before the National Football League. My goodness, the stats and the records that you set at Furman, you got it done right out of the gate your freshman year with that top 5 ranking and beating Georgia Southern, and then the next year with 20 touchdowns and getting to the semifinals of the FCS playoffs, and then the 6-touchdown game. What are some of your brightest and greatest moments at Furman, do you think?
Oh, man, there's so many. Those first couple of years when I got out there, they had a veteran squad, and, those coaches really provided me an opportunity to come in and play early and contribute. And, those guys picked me up, and they encouraged me to play well and, step up to the plate. And, I was really glad that I got the opportunity to play early. And, right out the gate, we were always competing for a national championship. So those first 2 years were special. Coming in and then growing with some of my classmates and, my junior year, us playing together and going on to my senior year. Like I said, I can't say enough about the coaching staff there, the players I played with. Obviously I had some pretty good stats and, but that was a lot of hard work from a lot of people that, that I was able to accomplish that. And, I had a great time. I remember the semifinal game. We were playing Appalachian State. I had a big run there, again, ran over John Lynch. Actually, I still talk to him about it because he's still playing in the league too. And that was a special moment. We almost eked that one out and got to the national championship, but just fell short. So there's a lot of great memories. And, I try to get back to Furman also as much as I can and, support the guys playing now and, help that program grow.
Boy, in 2006, a 6-touchdown game broke a record that was at Furman since 1915. What do you recall about that game?
I remember it was a night game. I just remember it was dark outside, and the first couple I was like, okay, I might have a good game here. And we kept on moving the ball well, and I kept getting opportunities, and the line was blocking really good that night. Everybody was kind of clicking on all cylinders, and we were rolling. So I think it was kind of like early in the third quarter I got my 6-1, and I think they announced it over the intercom and told the crowd about the record, and I think the student body enjoyed that, and it was special. I got to share that with my teammates, have a good time with them, and I know that doesn't happen very often, so it was definitely a special moment.
And then your senior year, you're recognized as an All-American, and that was a first for Furman fullback at the time. What was that like to get those national accolades?
I mean, it was something I always worked for. I always had a vision when I first got to Furman. Actually, when I first started playing football, I had a vision, and to get to that level and finally become an All-American, get my picture up there with some of the greats that came through that school. It was special to me. Like I said, I worked hard for it, and it was definitely one of my goals. And I just appreciated everybody that had a hand in that and allowed me to do that. And it was special for me. It was special for my family. And I think like I said, the opportunities they allowed me to have at Furman really gave me the opportunity to play in the NFL, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Joined by Jerome Felton, fullback for the Minnesota Vikings, a Sequoia High School product from down the road in Madisonville, joining us here on the New Sentinel sports page, and Vince Ferrara. What do you recall about the draft in 2008 when the Detroit Lions took you in the fifth round? Did that go as you kind of thought? Did you go later than you thought? What was the draft like for you in 2008?
I was hearing everything from late third to late fifth, so it kind of fell into place with that. Sam Gass is the running back coach at Detroit Lions, and he was a fullback in the league for a lot of years, and I got a chance to work with him a little bit the All-Star game. And, I knew he liked me a lot. I didn't hear a lot from Detroit. I didn't get to take a visit there or anything like that. But I was having a barbecue at my best friend's house, just close friends from college and high school and some family there. And I was sitting on the couch, and I got a couple phone calls really quick. It was really quiet, and all of a sudden I got like 3 phone calls back to back to back. I think it was like Arizona and Buffalo, and I'm, for 1 second I thought I was going to Arizona. The next second I thought I was going to Buffalo. Then all of a sudden another area code comes up, and it's Sam Gash on the phone and saying, we're gonna select you. And all of a sudden my name comes across the screen. Everybody goes crazy, and it was an emotional moment for me because obviously it was a dream realized. And, something I'll never forget. I still have a picture of when I got the call when I was on the phone. So it was special. And like I said, I got choked up a little bit just because there was a lot of hard work that went into it. And, it was finally realizing a dream.
Jerome, you started at the first 2 years. You started 6 games your rookie year, then 8 your second season, and then 2 your third season. What happened there in Detroit? Because it seemed like you were a big part of their success.
Yeah, when I got up to Detroit, obviously we were a young team, had a couple injuries at quarterback, so that really hurt us my first year. And, luckily, like I said, when I was in Detroit, working with Sam Gass, he really taught me the position because I was used to running the ball a lot and, doing things with the ball in my hands. And he kind of, once I got up there, he kind of molded me to be a hard-nosed fullback and be able to, punish defenses, open up for the runner. So I credit everything when it comes to my playing fullback to Sam Gash because he really taught me the position. Like I said, I had some success in Detroit. I always played well and, tried to play hard and do everything I could for the team. But as they got, Matthew Stafford and that beast, Calvin Johnson on the outside, they kind of transitioned to a more wide-open offense. So, like I said, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I got it in Detroit, and I think it really progressed my career to where I'm at now.
Jerome, was that difficult? Did you embrace that move to the different style of fullback where you're not carrying the ball and you're doing all the blocking and you don't get the stats? Was that difficult? Did you embrace that?
No, I embrace it. Obviously it's difficult because you're used to one thing and you all of a sudden you got to transition to a new role. But like I said, at this level, I realized the dream of getting here, and like I said, it goes back to Sam Gash really instilling that in me and letting me know that that's my role now, and I just embrace it as best I could, and I'm having a good time with it right now. Blocking for one of the greatest to ever play the game that will be in the Hall of Fame one day. So it's a good situation.
You've now played for 4 teams in 4 years. What's all that movement each year been like for you?
Well, it was mainly all in 1 year, which was last year. I started to camp with Detroit because I had completed my contract, and they had me back for another year. And like I said, they transitioned to a new offense, so I ended up getting claimed by the Carolina Panthers, spent 10 weeks there, and, with Cam Newton, they transitioned to a new offense and then finished the year out in Indy. So it was really a 1-year deal that I kind of had to bounce around a little bit. But, that's life of the fullback in the NFL. You really have to find a home, a coordinator that uses one that is committed to the run. And, unfortunately last year that really wasn't my situation. But like I said, once I got to free agency this year and got to talk to Coach Musgrave here, and and thought the thought of blocking for Adrian Peterson was going through my mind. So I think I finally found a great situation for me, a team that embraces running the football, and it's been all positive since I've been here.
Well, real quick, I want to get back to AP, but what was it like? Were you SMH scratching your head why the Carolina Panthers weren't running the football more last year, even though they had Cam?
Yeah, I think that's an understatement. I mean, they have great running backs there, and I was excited to get when I got there the chance to block for D'Angelo and Jonathan Stewart, and like I said, every coordinator wants to do what he wants to do, and he chose to run the offense they wanted to. So obviously it was a little frustrating for me, but I took it as a lesson. I took last year as really like a humbling experience and a chance for me to just grow. And like I said, I think God does everything for a reason, and I think I'm in a good position now. What
kind of career is Cam Newton going to have in the NFL?
Oh, he's going to be fine. I know, they're struggling a little bit right now, but he's a second-year guy. I think people forget that sometimes. And, he'll grow, he'll mature, he'll grow in his understanding of the position, and he's going to be a great player in the NFL.
Talk about Adrian Peterson getting back on the field and doing what he's doing now with the Vikings coming off of that injury.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. When I got up here around the springtime, and the first time I saw him, he was running gases with the wide receivers and beating everybody. So, I never, you could see he had a little hitch, but when it went straight ahead, he was beating everybody on the team. So I think right there, you kind of get a feel, okay, this guy's a little different than most people. So, he worked really hard every day. I saw him out there running on his own, running hills, sprints, all that. And, you kind of just knew that he'll be okay. And, obviously we're 8-9 weeks in the season, and he's back to his old form, running with power, explosion, speed, and it's something to watch.
Visiting with Sequoia High School, Madisonville product, Jerome Felton, fullback for the Minnesota Vikings, 42 career rushes, 136 yards, 34 catches, 280 yards. Couple starts this year for the 5-3 Minnesota Vikings. The rest of the league, the fans, are surprised by the Vikings. How surprising is it to you?
I wouldn't say that's surprising. We got talent here. You look at Percy Harvin, you look at Adrian, you look at our line. Obviously, I feel good about being brought in here and what I can do for the team. And, I think we knew what the outside world was saying, but, we worked hard in camp. We went away for camp to a college in the area. And, I think that really helped us because, we had 3 weeks and we were getting after it every single day. And, we're a hard team to beat. We run the football. We have a really good defense. And, we have some playmakers on the outside. So, when we play our game, we're a hard team to beat, and obviously it's only the middle of the season. There's 8 more games to go, but I feel positive for the present and the future of the Vikings. The
Vikings outside of the Denver Broncos, who have a lot of former Vols on them, the Broncos have 4, and no one else has more than 2. But in terms of local products, the Vikings probably are second in the league because there's you. There's also Harrison Smith, who played at Catholic and Notre Dame. And then there's former Vol Marvin Mitchell as well. Talk about those two guys, what kind of teammates they are, Marvin Mitchell and Harrison Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know Harrison was from Knoxville initially. We were in the sauna one day, and, we just started talking about, where you're from. He's like, I'm from Knoxville. So I was like, yeah, I'm from Madisonville. So that was kind of interesting. But, he's a young guy who's come in here and really stepped up for us in a very critical position. He's made some great plays, and I think he has a really bright future. He's going to be around for a long time and have a lot of success here. Marvin, he's been banged up a little bit this year, but that guy coming from Tennessee, he's one of the most physical linebackers we have. So, when we have our padded practices, I always know where he's at and know that I got to buckle up a little tighter when he's coming downhill.
Jerome, how frustrated is he with the lack of success for Tennessee football recently?
Yeah, I don't see him over here bragging too much. So, they've obviously had some struggles, and he's frustrated. But I think he understands that Tennessee tradition will shine through, and they'll be back before you know it.
Jerome, if we can get you some carries, and I know that's tough with Adrian Peterson there, but if you can start getting some stats going and getting the open field a little bit, since you're wearing Minnesota Vikings purple, might be able to bring back that purple bus nickname that you had at Furman, right?
Yeah. When it comes to that, I wouldn't take too many carries away from 2-8. So, I'll keep leading him through, and I'll let that shine through, and I'll get my accolades from the success he has, and I'm comfortable at this point in my career. I'm very comfortable with that.
Jerome Felton, 26-year-old in his sixth season, his fifth season, in the National Football League, now with the Minnesota Vikings, to look for him the rest of the season, number 42. Jerome, great to catch up with you. We really appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way and stay healthy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And, I just want to say thanks to all my Knoxville fans in the East Tennessee area, and I really appreciate you guys.
All right, we'll get you back on soon. Let's talk to him again. Thanks, Jerome.
All right, thank you.
That is Jerome Felton, number 42 of the Minnesota Vikings. That is Where Are They Now, presented by City Heat and Air and Natural Gas. I'm Vince Ferrara. More next. New Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on the Esports Animal.